Hello and welcome back to Green Money Momentum, where we talk about market movements, making money, and money momentum. I'm your host, Trevor, and we are here for Thursday's daily talk of stock. And I hope that you all had a terrific Thursday out there. I know myself, I am feeling pretty happy as the state of Arizona is a bit cooler right now. We had a nice storm roll through the other night, and so the temperature has dropped a little bit, just like the temperature in the market, which has also been dropped. We saw today was another flat day with some consolidation and sideways movement. When we look at the heat map here, we could see a lot of plays didn't even move by 1%. So Meta, Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, and a lot of other players on this board having a pretty flat day. And that is because tomorrow is going to be pretty big. In the morning, in the pre-market, we are going to have the numbers around the PCE index, so the Fed's preferred measurement for inflation. And this is significant because right now the markets are feeling very greedy, and we are anticipating the rate cut, which is projected to come next month. Right now, there is an 86% projection that the Fed does cut in September. Recently, Jerome Powell did appear to be dovish, but as we know, the Fed chairman has also been data dependent through the entire year. And so if there is a shockwave with these numbers tomorrow, this could cause a shockwave in the markets also. We're hoping that numbers do come in positive tomorrow, but as I always say, just make sure that you have proper risk mitigation going into tomorrow, because today there was some dips in the market, and again, things have been sideways and the markets are projecting this rate cut, but really anything could happen, and tomorrow is going to be a very important date. I do think that we will get great numbers around inflation, and I am expecting tomorrow to be green, but we will see. We will only know once those numbers come out. With that being said, I do anticipate a rate cut coming next September. With that being said, we're going to visit three great plays that I see having a lot of potential here in the future, whether or not that we do get a rate cut next month. These stocks will be even more bullish if we do get that rate cut. But today we're going to be talking about BigBearAI, so the big guy back there. We're then going to be going into Alt5 Sigma Group, which had a big day today, up 20%, and we're going to finish with Coinbase stock. So we're going to start out here by visiting the Big Bear. As we know, with Big Bear, things have been rough in the short term. With Big Bear, we were in this consolidation trend for quite some time, bouncing between $6, the highest level being at $8.50, and then with Big Bear's recent earnings report, things were pretty negative, and we did see the Big Bear drop under this level of consolidation. So in the recent short term, $6 has been the resistance, the previous support in that consolidation trend. What is positive, just looking at technical analysis, is the Big Bear has came down quite a bit, not only on the candlestick chart, but also on the relative strength index and on the MACD also. So when it comes to technicals, we are starting to run down quite a bit with the Big Bear. And I wanted to point out this today because with Big Bear, how I have been playing it through the entire year has been with options contracts. And if you've been following me long enough, you know that I am a big proponent of options. I think that options are the greatest financial instrument ever created, and you could see some serious exponential return on investment. And so I made a video not long ago. I'll put it up there at the top, and that is just about making 100% plus return on investment from options contracts. And with Big Bear's recent slide, if you don't understand options contracts, this may be a good time to watch that video, because I go all over it and I'm talking about Big Bear in that video. And so with the recent slide in Big Bear, the options contract prices have came down quite a bit. We are seeing some incredibly cheap options with the Big Bear right now. And me personally, this is when I want to make my investments into a company, when there has been a lot of bleeding and when these options contracts are way down. Because if the Big Bear does have a reversal, we could see all these contracts gain an exponential value. So just make sure that you are properly positioned for anything. But myself personally, I did buy a couple options contracts in the Big Bear today, and if tomorrow is a bloody day, I will buy more options contracts in Big Bear, but I will go far out into the future. Again, if you don't understand options, just watch that video because it will really explain explain a lot, and that video is all about Big Bear. And so with that, I had 400% return on investment with many of the options contracts that I recently sold with Big Bear's rise. So I've been playing with options contracts all year long. I've been taking advantage of these rips. So I buy my options contracts while they are low and then sell when they are higher, while also having leaps for the future. And so right now, again, while there is a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt in the Big Bear, this may be a good opportunity to pick up your Big Bear options contracts, because options contracts are leveraged. And if Big Bear does have a rip up just back to this level of consolidation to the highest point of 850, these options contracts could be worth a lot of money. Now, let's not be naive to the fact that Big Bear could bleed some more. Recently, Big Bear did have their earnings report, and as we know, things were pretty negative at that earnings report. They did withdraw their guidance for the rest of the year. Their revenue was under what Wall Street expected, and this company did go under some dilution. So right now, some fear, uncertainty, and doubt in the Big Bear. Things are not looking the most certain, but this is a value stock opportunity. We have talked all year about how Big Bear is a volatile play and anything can happen. We really follow the Big Bear because of the potential within the company. Although earnings were not great this last quarter, they did talk about them having the most cash they have ever had on their balance sheet, and the company is looking stronger than ever. They have picked up a lot of government contracts this last year, and they are at all of the airports. And so Big Bear does have a lot of true intrinsic value. We've seen a lot of growth within this company in the last year, but again, as investors, we got to look at both sides of the coin. There's a chance that we do see a reversal here in the Big Bear, but we could also see more bleeding. But with the recent bleeding that we have had in the short term, I like how the technicals are lining up. I think we could go down to about $4.80 if tomorrow is a bloody day within the Big Bear, but I think that this 480 will act as the major support, and if we do go down to 480, we could see a big bounce up. But right now at just $5 for the Big Bear, I think that this is a great opportunity. And just like talking about the options contracts, there is also this opportunity which just came out a couple days ago, another derivative which is double leveraged with BigBearAI. So as always with these double leveraged ETFs, play with caution. But if you are bullish on the Big Bear and you do believe in the future, with this, when Big Bear goes up by 1%, the double leveraged ETF goes up by 2%. And so myself, I have made a ton of money this year with Big Bear, and that has been through leverage with the options contracts. But if you don't understand options contracts, you could still play with leverage within the Big Bear with this 2x leveraged opportunity. But again, do so with caution, because the Big Bear could really go either way and is unpredictable right now, especially with the company withdrawing guidance for the rest of the year. And so with Big Bear, we have followed them through this entire year because they have a small market cap just at 1.9 billion. When we originally started covering Big Bear, it was when they were under $1 billion. And so this company has seen some growth, but on this channel, we love to cover these small market cap stocks because they have a lot of potential to run when they do run. Value opportunities are still companies that are growing with a small market cap. There's a lot of potential if investors really start to pour into that opportunity, whether it is just volume from a meme stock pump or whether the company has made a significant move and investors are piling in. That's what I see with our next stock here, Alt5 Sigma Group. And I think that this company has the opportunity to change lives for some investors, because currently the company has a market cap at just 833 million. So a very low market cap when we look at all the companies in the market. Again, right now, NVIDIA has a $4.4 trillion market cap. So it takes a lot more money for a company with a market cap like that to run than it does a small market cap stock. And right now, there is a relatively small short interest in Alt5 Sigma Group. So short interest could go either way. If a stock is bullish with a high short interest, we could see a squeeze. But when short interest is very low, this is also a positive, because that doesn't mean that Wall Street or any shorts are pushing down the stock. And Alt5 Sigma Group has started to see some nice price momentum recently. recently. We saw today the stock jumped pretty nice. The screen here is just showing 1.20, but it was really up about 20% today. We saw this massive rip up, and currently when we look at the last year in the stock, we are sitting at a crucial spot because we have been in a little bit of a downtrend within this stock. So we have been in this downwards momentum with lower highs. And so tomorrow, if the bullish momentum in Alt 5 Sigma Group continues, this could be massive because, again, we have been in this downwards trend, but we are sitting at a critical spot because we are right on this higher level of resistance. And recently, we did tap off the 200-day moving average. And when we talk about the other indicators of the relative strength index and the MACD, it does appear that we could go a lot higher there also. And the reason why we are covering Alt 5 Sigma Group, if you don't know what this company is because Eric Trump has recently joined the board on this company as of just recently a couple weeks ago. And there's a big partnership building between Alt 5 Sigma Group and World Liberty Financial, which is Trump's crypto creation. And so this company bought a bunch of the WLFI tokens, and Eric Trump is now working with the company, and US Dollar One, the stable coin created by Alt 5 Sigma Group, is being used in the world financial ecosystem. And so this is absolutely massive. We are really pushing into the mass adoption into cryptocurrency led by the president of the United States, Donald J. Trump, and his son just joined this company here. And so the Trump family has a lot of money tied within crypto, and there are a lot of incentives for crypto to rise. So Alt 5 Sigma Group being at a market cap less than just $1 billion with the recent news of Eric Trump joining the company, I think that this is a steal. Currently, the stock sitting at $8.45. Just days ago, it was in the $6 range. And so with small market cap companies, I can't stress enough how when it is a low market cap, less money means more of a run up. So just at $8.72, I do believe that we could see a double in this stock. Eventually, we could reach up to $16 as investors realize the value with Alt 5 Sigma Group. And as we get closer to September, especially if we get that rate cut next month. So myself, I am very excited about the entire crypto space, and I am very excited about what is happening with the Trump family and Alt 5 Sigma Group. Now, talking about crypto, that's going to bring us into our last stock here, which is Coinbase. And Coinbase, just when we look at technicals, is sitting at a pretty crucial spot because recently we did get close to bouncing off the 200-day moving average. We were really low on the relative strength index. We are really low still on the relative strength index, but it does appear that we could be seeing a bullish cross on the MACD also. So all the indicators are lining up here. Just when we talk about baseball and the golden sombrero, that is where a batter strikes out 4 times in a game. I like to think about the golden sombrero in terms of stocks because we have the first strikeout on the candlestick chart. We are looking low there, getting close to the 200-day moving average. We are low on the relative strength index. That's the second strikeout. The third being the bullish cross, which may be appearing. That would be the third strikeout. And again, in this scenario, we're the pitcher, so this is positive for us. The fourth strikeout would be the macros. And so cryptocurrency and all risk assets should see a big rip up when the Federal Reserve most likely cuts next month. And even if they don't cut next month, we do know that Jerome Powell will be leaving office soon enough. So even in the worst case scenario, if we don't see any rate cuts till he leaves, well, he will be out next year and crypto assets should rip up then. Just on technicals alone, Coinbase is looking fantastic. And then when we talk about the actual fundamentals of Coinbase, the actual company behind them, they are a company that continues to earn a bunch of money. So they have these massive quarters with revenue. They did have a drop off for Q1 and Q2 of this year, but you have to think Coinbase is a brokerage, and so they make money with all the transactions. A lot less transactions during this time. Many investors were feeling fearful. Looking back, I'm sure many do wish they would have invested, but because of this, we did see the revenue go down a bit in Coinbase. But over the long term, Coinbase has a lot of potential. And if we just refer back to the Wolf of Wall Street, one of the main lessons you could learn in that is how the brokerages are always making paper out of the equity market. So while we are all trading our dollars and our crypto trying to get rich from one asset to the next, the company of Coinbase or any of these brokerages are making money with every single transaction along the way. A very lucrative business model. And so I'm very excited about what is to come into the future. I do believe that we are pushing into the mass adoption into cryptocurrency. Both Coinbase and Alt 5 Sigma Group take advantage of that. And then with BigBearAI, there's a lot of true intrinsic value with that company, but we are sitting at a bit of an uncertain point of time in that company. But again, if you do have a good risk tolerance, which I know many of you do, look at the leveraged opportunities with Big Bear. I am a proponent of the options contracts. I think that double leveraged presents a great opportunity as well. But if you do play in double leveraged or even the options contracts, just make sure that you know what you are playing with, because things could be risky. So with double leverage, you either earn at double the speed or lose at double the speed. But as always, like I say, just really do your own due diligence. This is not financial advice. I always recommend doing your own due diligence, is what I always say, right? Well, the more you learn, the more you earn. So it really does help when you do your DD. As always, this was my opinion. I appreciate you guys listening to what I have to say. As always, I love to hear from all of you. So please drop a comment in the section below. Please let me know what you think. Please leave a like, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Thank you guys as always, and I will see you in the next daily talk of stock.